This is the Fanrik. It is a Tier 9 Blitz Nation heavy tank. It is part of the Season 3 rewards, just like the Season 2 being the Glacier, and the Season 1 being the Regressor. Now, funny enough, the Regressor was actually nerfed in the latest update of the game, going from 20 reverse to 14. Not really sure why they nerfed the vehicle, especially because the Tech Tree 50 TP can reverse at 19 to 21 if you're running gear oil, but I guess Wargaming really just wanted to screw this vehicle over. The Fanrik is, well, it's a rather interesting vehicle. On paper, it looks like quite a dangerous tank, but it also has a lot of downsides that definitely are going to affect its capabilities. For example, let's start off very briefly with the armor. This is what the tank looks like on flat. It's got about 270 mils on the turret, and it's got about 260 on this little gun mantlet part. And the Emil 2 has about 260 on the turret. But the thing is, the Emil 2 can use 9 degrees of gun depression, getting upwards of about 312 effective to 320 if you put on Enhanced 330, compared to, well, about 305, and with Enhanced 317. And I should also mention this part's weaker at only about 312, compared to 330 with heat. So the armor on this vehicle is flat worse than the Emil 2's. The Emil 2, as we can see, using its gun depression, is actually very hard to pen, even with 360 plus mils of pen. Or the Fanrik, it's definitely going to be hard, but you're going to be able to cut through if you have over 300 mils of pen, and that's pretty dang mediocre. The upper plate, though, very solid, definitely a lot better than the Emil, so you will be getting more bounces on that upper plate. Lower plate, though, is absolutely dookie, so that is something you're going to have to keep very close in mind. The major thing that I think is cool about this tank is the gun. It's more like an Object 752. You have 2 shells, and this is actually an auto-loader and not an auto-reloader. So you get dump out both shells, dealing 410 each, and then you have just an 18-second reload for 2200 damage per minute. It's got pretty decent alpha damage, the HE is quite nice, and the penetration isn't all too bad. Mobility-wise, the tank is not mobile, though. Only reaches a top speed of 37, and oh, a reverse of 14. The Emil 2 can reverse at 20 base. So that right there is a massive downside for the Fanrik. Overall, this tank just seems like a kind of worse Object 752, but I'm not going to fully diss it. It does have some capabilities here and there that seem quite cool, and I really like the design of this tank. And what do I know? Maybe it's a really, really good vehicle, just not on paper. Because there's tanks that are like that. Alrighty, so let's head in and see what we can do. Mobility-wise, it actually feels to have a pretty good power to weight, as you can see. It gets up to 37. It's just unfortunate that 37's its top speed. I want to see more heavies that are kind of like PC, where they can go upwards of 45, 50 kilometers per hour. Problem is, Wargaming would really struggle to balance something like that in Blitz. So I got a K91 moving up in the front, and well, what are we going to be able to do here? What do they have? They have a Conway T95 and a Type 5 Kari. That's actually going to be a nasty vehicle to fight. There's enemy Conway, and I'm kind of hoping we can just aim it on his tank. There you go. Nice 398 damage shot. Do get a bounce from the enemy E75 TS, and the rather annoying levels of gun depression on this vehicle make it not very easy to use in this current position here. Wow, okay. Well, dispersion is not very accurate on this tank. We're just going to chill. Kari, oh, that's not a Kari, that's a T95. Never mind, I was like, the Kari nukes that player, but no. Okay, we're just going to roll off to the side over here. I wonder if we can overmatch the Conway side armor at this angle. We can! I thought we could. Well, there's 1 pen and 2 pens. We appear to get, yeah, cut right through the turret from the enemy T95. That probably wouldn't happen if I was in a Emil 2, but it is a good example of the weakness that this vehicle features compared to something like an Emil 2. So we got the KPZ-70, and we also got the IS-8 off to the side. I'm going to aim it on the IS-8. There you go. Nice 420 damage shell, and that's really, really lame. I mean, double-shot autoloaders are always super, super dangerous, and we can see that here. The fact that you're able to just go womp, womp, and then back on the cover, it's pretty dang devastating. But you do have the big old downside of not featuring the highest DPM on this tank, which is obviously going to suck. Okay, well, we get 1 pen into you, and I don't really want to waste my shell. Oh, that's not good. Alright, well, we can chill right here. If this K91 Smarty is going to pull forwards, we're just going to back on up to a point where the 95 really can't pen us. And let's see. There you go. 1 nice pen into the T95. 2 nice pens into the T95. Yeah, I gotta say this tank feels quite strong. It feels just like a 7.52. But I actually like the profile of this tank more. I like the 7.52 profile, but I don't like the fact that you have to hide the hatches constantly, and this tank just feels kind of more flexible because of the fact the way the turret is mounted and everything like that. Now, do I think it's better? No. Just the way this tank's mounted doesn't make it feel better. But it definitely feels strong. I mean, as I am firmly in the belief of, any double-shot autoloader is kind of nutty because they don't really have downsides. I mean, sure, this vehicle might not feature as much DPM as a 7.52, might not feature as much DPM as a K91, but it makes up for that in the fact that you literally just shoot twice and back on the cover. It's really, really dangerous. By far the most disappointing part about this vehicle is the fact that it only features 7 degrees of gun depression, and the fact that it reverses AV-14. I think both of those really are sad, and are kind of devastating, to be completely real. The reverse speed just doesn't make sense, because every single Cron, a mill variant reverse at like 18 to 20. So I don't understand why it reverses so slow. But even more of a burn than that is the fact that the tank only has 7 degrees of gun depression on a platform that should be sitting at 9 or even 10. This vehicle is based off of the Emil 1. We can very clearly see that off of the turret and hull design. And yet, even though it's based off the Emil 1/1951, it features 7 degrees of gun depression. I don't know, it's like Wargaming said, oh yeah, look at the 2 most fun values about the Cron, about the Emil 2, about the Emil 1. Let's remove both of those values and then put it in a premium. I don't get it. Like, I really don't. That part's super irritating. I don't know why this tank doesn't have much better, I don't know why the Defender Mark 1 is there either. To be fair, I don't really care. It's like 180 HP I lost for a medium to basically throw medium side, so that's a dub. We're just gonna chill right here, and I mean, I just don't know what the thought process is. If you ever drive your mediums and mids, you're basically throwing the game, because I mean, you're just not doing anything on medium side at that point. Well, let's see. We got an enemy Luva off to the side, and apart from that, there's not much, to be honest. Got the 53 TP. Bonk. There you go. Nice 450 damage shot. But then we got nuked by, of course, tanks camping at the back. Oh yeah, we gotta love accurate guns. How fun. This is why I hate driving to Castilla Hill. But sometimes you have to just, you have to do it because you need to be the one to spot this hill. If you don't, your mediums are going to be nuked on the other side of the map. So it's just kind of mandatory sometimes. Got a nice shot into the Defender. That HWK is interesting, to say none the least. I mean, I don't really care if that HWK shoots me. To be honest, I hope that the Hawk keeps shooting at me, because the more time that Hawk wastes on me, the more time it gives my team to literally ruin his entire game. So that's fine with me. I actually personally like when people waste their game to shoot at a heavy that's not really doing much. Alright, well, we got the Luva. There's a 391 shot. Do you see that gun depression, though? It's really not good. Because of how tall this tank is, it's an awful combination of gun depression. Like, you'd think 7 degrees would be really nice, but it's surprisingly not on this tank. Alright, well, we got the K91 off to the side, and as much as I'd love to shoot him, I feel like right now it's probably best that I shoot at the Luva and get him cleared. So that's what we're going to do. There's 1 shell into his tank for 428, and because we're an autoloader, we kill him. Again, this is why double-shot autoloaders are overpowered. I can literally shoot a tier 8 heavy 4 times, bleed 300 health, and win the trade every time of the week. It's so dumb. Now, I don't think that this tank is as good as the 7.52, not in any world, because of the fact that the 7.52 not only has more gun depression, Oh, and the Contracaro is bad. He dumped his entire clip, which means we just drive right up this hill, and we miss our first shot. That's the other thing I can say about this tank that I don't really enjoy, is the incredibly inaccurate gun. But we at least got 2 shells out. We also reverse somewhat, so should be able to do that. We got the Scorpion basically covering me, so if this Contracaro wants to YOLO me, go ahead, bro, but you're going to regret life. I'm just going to actually poke him. Let's see if he dumps his reserve shell. Yep, he does. Great job. Amazing play. Bye. Genius. Every Contracaro player does that. And they think that it's going to, like, help them win the game, but it doesn't. Sometimes it does, but that was obviously not a situation where you wanted the YOLO. Alright, well, I just need to push over towards the K91 and HWK at this point. Our Chrysler, I don't really know what he's doing. I don't know how our team's throwing this game, to be honest, but at least the Chrysler penned a shot on the K91, making him a 1-shot. Or a 1-clip is what I should say. Alright, now, in this situation, I have 2 options. I can go up the hill, or I can finish off the Hawk. I'm just going to push the Hawk. He can't kill me with a standard shot, so really, this is just one easy kill on him, and then we just need to flank the K91. And I think our Scorpion should be able to pen the K91 at least once before he dies, so this should be a pretty easy win. If this Scorpion doesn't though, then oh well, we'll see. Okay. Keep on going. I think that K91 is actually on a reload, to be completely real. I'm just going to chill right here for now. I'm pretty confident that the K91 is going to go for it at some point here, and if he does, it's just easy for me to chill and wait. I don't know if he knows I'm back here, though. I don't have the health to make a play, so I'm literally just going to wait. There you go. One nice shot into the K91, and just like that, he's now a 1-shot. Oh, and our Scorpion bounces it. Crazy, bro. Thankfully, the K91's bad and just showed his entire side to me. Alright, well, that was a pretty good game. 4,400 damage. We were able to win. And, yeah, I mean, we did alright, as you can see. So, I wouldn't say this is a bad tank, but I'm definitely not going to say it's anything crazy either. The gun is... it's alright. I mean, it basically feels like any other Doubleshot heavy. I just wish it had more gun depression. It's so disappointing to drive this vehicle and only have 7 degrees. It's very awkward. At the end of the day, it's a good tank. If you get it for free, I don't think that's possible, but if you do, it's an alright vehicle if you get it pretty cheap. It's kind of like a worse version of the 7.52, so that's about all I can say. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.